Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to color using watercolor pencils. I'm Sally Allen and I'm stamping with gas. Here are watercolor pencils and they are found in our catalog, our Stampin' Up! Catalog, the big annual catalog on page 144, and there are two different sets to choose from. You must use StazOn ink. That's on page 146. And you'll need some kind of blender pen, and you can use a water brush or a blender pen, and I'm going to use a blender pen today, and it looks like this. So there's my blender pen, and I'm going to use the new adorable Gnome for the Holidays stamp set, and I'm going to stamp one of these, each of these gnomes. Now you have to use StazOn ink. And Stampin' Up! Sells two colors. We have the black, jet black, and saddle brown. So I went ahead and stamped the gnomes in black and brown and black. All right, so let's get started. For this first little gnome here, I think I'm going to do him in red and green. So I will choose my pencil. Now you can do this just like you do a colored pencil, but this is not just an ordinary colored pencil. So don't try this with an ordinary colored pencil because you won't get the same effect. So you can stay in the lines if you like, or not. You can press fairly hard if you want to. Now these can be sharpened with a regular pencil sharpener. I don't like mine real sharp because I tend to press really hard, and when they're too sharp they break for me. So I keep them a little bit blunt but sharp enough to get in small spaces like that. So now I'm going to use my green, and I'm going to color every other stripe on his hat in green. And you think, wow, she doesn't color with colored pencils very well, but just you wait and see. And you'll see what's going to happen. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the mistletoe. Mistletoe is green, right? So I'm going to do it green. And I'm also going to do the little bow here in red. Now since he's a gnome, I'm going to color his little beard in gray. I don't want it too dark. I want it more of a whitish gray, not too dark. And you can color it very lightly, and then if you don't like it, you can add more color. And I'll show you that in just a minute when we get to our blender pen. Now for his face, I don't have a flesh color, so I'm going to take my orange and do it just very lightly. There's his nose, his eyes, his hands, and his feet have shoes on. All right, so now I want to color his coat, and I can stick with my red and green theme here, or I can go with something else. But I'm going to go ahead and give him a little red coat here. Color that. And I can go with the same every other sort of theme with his shoes. Or how about, let's do black. And then the pants that are sticking out, I'll do green. All right, and his little sleeve there should be red. I think there's only just a tiny bit showing there. And now his little ornament. So let's see. Let's do, I don't want to be boring and do just red and green. So let's do some blue here. And some yellow. And then I'll add a little gray here for the silver that's usually on your little Christmas decorations. All right. So now I'm going to color this one, and I've stamped him in the saddle brown. And so this time I want to use a light blue color like snow. So I'm just gonna color this in. I love the little snow. I just love the way their big old noses are hanging out, but you can't see their eyes very well. I just love these little guys. They are so adorable. I just can hardly stand it. There's his little feet. And I'm just gonna give him some brown shoes. And we could make his beard brown while we're at it. I'm not pressing very hard right now on the brown as I did on the shoes because I just want it a little bit lighter. And then for his face, I'm going to go with kind of a coral, not quite so orange as I did above. Let's see how we like that. And then his little hands. And I forgot his little sleeves here. So let's get those. And then the little ball on his, well, it's a bell actually. So let's make it silver. All right. And now for the little girl, she has a Christmas tree on her head. So I'm going to use green. And I am pressing kind of hard on this one. And sometimes I don't know. Coloring is supposed to be really relaxing, and I find it to be so. I don't know, it just depends on the stamps that you choose. These are kind of fun. All right, so I have the tree done, and now the little star. And I can always go back over these. I'm going to, let's say, a few of the balls here are going to be red. And then I'm going to use some blue. And one more blue. And a few yellow. All right. Now she has more of her face showing, so I'm going to go with the coral for her little face and maybe make her little nose a little darker. Now I can afterwards go back and, you know, give her some rosy cheeks, but I'll wait and do that. So I'm going to give her a little blue dress, but I'm going to leave her apron white. And I can color it. I have a white pencil, but I'm just going to leave it white. But I'm going to attempt to color the little holly here and the berries. So we want red for that. And we'll give her some black shoes. We'll pretend like they're black patent leather. And now for her hair, let's see, I think this is her neck here. And then her little hands. So I want that. And I think I'm going to make her blonde. So we're going to do her hair in some yellow. All right. Now, once we have all the coloring done, is where our blender pen comes in handy. And these are special pens, and they have two tips, and you'll see that mine's well used here. And you always want to have a piece of scrap paper handy because you're going to wipe off that tip and keep it clean so that it doesn't run from color to color. All right, so now let's go back to the top here. Now there's a special fluid in this, and it's what's going to blend your watercolor pencil together to make it look not so, I don't know if you can see this very well. See how it looks, oops, got that too far. Kind of sloppy, but I'm gonna fix that. So now I'm going to blend. See how it takes out those color marks, and I can actually give it some shading. Do you see that, how I can do that? And I'm going to do all the red first, clean my tip off, and then do the other colors. So let's see, we've got his coat. So I just go and I blend, and you see how where I didn't color, I can drag some of the color over there. So I don't have to be extremely precise because I'll take care of that with my blender pen. Okay, so I can even do some shading with that. Now you want to be careful that you don't go over it too many times, because if you've used your Whisper White cardstock, it will start to kind of shred a little. So don't be too intense with your blender pen. So see how I kind of clean my tip off until it starts to run clear, and then I'll move over to the other color. So I'll do the green here. And again, I can smear this pencil color any way I want to so that it's a little bit shaded. So see, I'm going to take some of that color out there. Let me spread this around a little bit because I didn't do a very good job of that mistletoe, but now it looks fine. Okay, so let's clean this tip off. And I try not to I can change ends if I want to, but I try not to do that without cleaning it off, because I'll forget, and then I think I'm doing a gray beard and I'm doing a red gray beard. So I'll just follow the lines here and blend this in. And there's this beard now. So I'll clean that off. Now I want to get that nose and his little face and hands. All right, the last thing we have here, well, the last few things we have are his little boots here. I'll clean that off. And now I'm going to do the blue on the Christmas ball here. Clean that off. And you see how some of the colors are more intense? I really have to clean them well. And now I'm going to do my yellow. All right, so that first one is done. So I don't know if you can see how he has changed since we did the first coloring. So you can see the next one, the effect of the coloring. So let's go ahead, clean our tip off, and brush. We'll do the blue first. So I'm going to smear this pencil around. You can just play with it until it's the way you want it. If I want to go back up here and shade that beard a little bit, I can do that. So I'm going to try to get these little snowflakes here. Got his legs, got his little arms there. Okay, so now I'm going to do this little bell. I kind of want, I rubbed most of it away, and I did so on purpose, and now I really want, I'm going to drop my pencils on the floor. I'm just going to do that middle a little bit darker. So that's why I rubbed most of it away. All right, clean off my pen there, and now I'm going to do his beard and his mustache. I just love these little guys. They are so cute. I have such plans for Christmas cards for these little gnomes. Now somebody told me that all gnomes should have red hats, and I said, pooey, I don't have to have a red hat. Let's get his nose, his eyes, his hands. And I'm done with that one. So you can see how fast you take it from an okay coloring project to fabulous. I mean, it looks like a watercolor by the time you're done. You can see the shading, and so this one's going to be a little harder. I have my brush cleaned off because it's got, you know, the little Christmas balls there. But I'm just going to go around them and get as close close there as I can, and I like the way it's coming out because it's real shaded. I'm going to take a little bit of it off there. Now do store your blender pens on their side. Don't leave them. I leave my pencils in a jar like this, because especially I don't like them rolling off the table. So this is how, but I don't keep my blender pen in here. I keep it on its side because there is fluid in it, and it equalizes it from tip to tip if you keep it on its side. So I don't remember, nope, I didn't wash that off. So let me take that off and give it a little more shading around here. So you see how when I clean my tip off, it takes that color off, and then I can lighten it up a little bit. So if we get too much color, or if I took off too much color, I can add it and blend it again. So I've cleaned off my tip, and I'm going to do blue this time. Blue and her little dress. And that I want to take out just a little bit of color right here. So you see how I use my blender pen to move that color around. Okay, so I've done the blue. Let's do the red. And we've got the little berries here. And actually, I would like some more color on that. Blend those a little bit. And when I did the tree, I forgot to do the little holly leaves there. All right, so I'm going to clean that one last time. Well, probably not the last time, but I'm going to do her face. And I'm going to get quite a bit of the color off of here because I don't want her to look real like orange. And then what I'm going to do is take a pink pencil and give her some rosy cheeks. That's a little over the top. She looks like she's been in her mom's makeup drawer. So I can keep moving that around until I'm happy with it. Okay. All right, and then her little shoes. And that's it. That's how you color with a watercolor pencil. So I hope you have fun exploring your watercolor pencils. Until next time, have a great stamping party. Glad you stopped by. See you next time.